that process actually took about 30 days, which is remarkable in my opinion. I don't know if they would consider this section of Lazy Lane because of traffic counts. We have to supply that to them as part of the consideration. But if it's in the committee's consideration, we can start that process for future funding, because I know there's some sections that have drainage issues, and the traffic counts on that road, including truck traffic, are problematic at times.
So any questions for Jim? This is an action item for a few minutes. Any questions before we move on to the next one?
No, just a comment that, obviously I'm very familiar with that road, and I remember when that road was paved, when the police department was put there, and it's actually getting bad again, and it's because of the drainage. So I think drainage is a big factor on all of our roads that are deteriorating because of the freeze thaw that we get in the heaps. So I know Lazy Lane right now has signs that says watch for ice, and you literally have ice buildup on Lazy Lane because it's improperly draining. Resident on Lazy Lane, when it poured heavy, all the rain came down. I think the highway department did a little paving job in front to prevent it from going and loading up their driveway with a bunch of silt from up Lazy Lane. So it's definitely a street that's going to need some love in the near future, and I think it's because of drainage. So maybe there's certain things we could do to help with the drainage now to preserve that road, because it's only going to get worse, especially when you have standing ice on a road. We all know that's not good for the road.
We can look into it.
Any other questions? Next item is the discussion on the EV charging stations.
Don Potter is here for.
Let's table it. Let's table it for the next meeting. Or do you want to have a discussion on it? He's not here to give the presentation.
So this was sent to me earlier today.
Yep.
I did not look at it that in depth. The only thing that I have a concern of, one of the locations is 119 Center Street. There's 4 chargers there. That, there's 2 businesses, 3 businesses that, 4 that I know of that use that parking lot. So I think making EV chargers, I own an EV car, I'd love to see more chargers. I just don't know if that would be beneficial to those businesses, especially since the police department now has made it no parking in that area. So we already lost about 5 parking spaces on, what's that?
I would advise you reserve this, and we're not going to have any action on it tonight.
Yeah.
And table it for the next meeting, and tell him to come and prepare to stay for the entire meeting so he can give his presentation. I hope we didn't think we were going to vote on it without getting the presentation. I get it, we all have things to do, but unfortunately the meeting was set. He was here.
Yeah, if Don does not work for Matcha, he's our energy consultant.
I
was hoping to just step in.
Okay. So let's get a hold of Matcha. If this is what they want, have them come up to the meeting.
Didn't Mancha already come to the
They
town
did.
and we approved something? Did they ever get the funding from Eversource?
They went to council with the presentation, and I think that they were hoping to get a positive recommendation to go back to council, because they would like to go to
I
council.
thought there was a deadline that they needed last time to get some sort of money that was out there to make this feasible. Did they get that? Did they secure it?
What I think the big problem here is the location of the chargers where they wanted to put them in the Bank of America parking lot did not pan out. So now they're looking for alternative sites.
Gotcha.
And I would rather have them here, so we're not guessing and speculating. You know what I mean? So let's table this to the next meeting, and if they want to give a presentation, they should be here.
Motion to table.
Okay, we have a motion by the chief already.
Oh, I didn't
That's
hear
okay,
it.
I didn't act that, we haven't discussed it. So motion by Mr. Perry, second by Ms. Mazzarello, to table it. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Well, if there's a motion at table, we could have actually had discussion.
We
on
could,
it.
right, that's why.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's all right, that's why I didn't act on it.
Took his thunder.
That's okay. Okay, so, action items, the roadway functional classification for Lazy Lane. We heard Jim talk about this earlier. I think it's a great idea. We should always be applying for grants and getting some money from agencies to get some stuff done in town. I'm not sure if anyone feels differently. If not, we need to hear a motion. to give them, permission to go ahead and put in for that?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to put in to change the classification for Lazy Land.
Motion by Mr. Perry, second by Mr. Pocock. All those in favor? Or, I'm sorry, any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And the action to rescan roadways PCI rating, I think, once again, we should put this off. You're at the chair. I have no problem leaving this on for public communication for our next meeting. And after our next meeting, we can report back to the town council and we can solidify this list. So I think right now we're looking for a table.
So moved.
Second. Motion by the chief, second by, was it Mr. Pocock again? Talking a lot down there today. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
We will also try and research other vendors as suggested.
Great.
by the
Good.
chief.
Yep, okay. Any other business?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
So the town council and the board of finance members got an email from the town manager that he stated 3.2 million, to be exact, it's almost 3.3 million of road work that the state of Connecticut is doing. And, you know, it gets back to the PCI, and I would love for this to be, you know, open to the public as well, so they can see, you know, what other roads are being done and what funding mechanisms we are accomplishing that with. But, you know, the PCI for West Street, and I'm guessing this is how long it is, ranges from 5.8 to 6.3 to 6.8, 7.1. So PCI, I don't even know how we're using double digits, and if the state is using single digits, usually unit of measure is usually the same. So I'm just concerned on why their numbers are different for PCI versus our double digit
It's
numbers.
the same company.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But just usually unit of measure, everybody's following, so if it's something that is usually
They
classified,
probably go from 0 to 10 versus us.
that's what I was assuming.
But we could find out, I mean, that's a good thing to find out which vendor they're using. That particular stretch, the VIP program you're referring to, it goes from West Street past Bristol Town Line, so there's a lot of.
Roadway there.
Yeah.
Jack, let me speak, yeah, these PCI models are highly subjective and tweaked according to the characteristic of the nature of the roads that we're evaluating. So there's probably a drastic difference between what the DOT and their road network looks in terms of Southington. So that's why PCI, I've been doing paving for 25 years. This can be highly contentious, and those PCI ratings really are very misleading, because they're all based on a model that is intended to tweak, as Dave did a very great presentation on the available paving techniques and technologies based on their cost effectiveness. So again, I just would like to as someone who's done paving for a long time in the municipal sector, PCI ratings can be very misleading and should be, like I think was advocated by Public Works, David, you know, and Jim and David, boots on the ground, meeting with constituents, communicating even when there's not good news, some idea of what these things are, but those numbers are can be very misleading because they're all based on a specific model, and there's multiple models out there.
And then last thing, Mr. Chair, I just want to say on the record that I am against any type of chip seal. I know that there's only one road, rubberized or not, residents,
It's a nightmare.
yeah, but again, this is preliminary, but further discussion, but I don't want that to kind of slip by the cracks without us discussing and you know, obviously looking at it. Even though it's different, it's still chip seal that people hate. So, that's it.
Anything else?
Motion adjourned.
Motion by the chief, second by Mr. Pocock. All those in favor?